The Nebraska football team was back to work here for their fourth spring practice on Tuesday. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline.com. We caught up with defensive coordinator Tony White, defensive line coach Terrence Knight, and a number of different players here as White's crew makes their way here through the spring.
Well, I said this from day one, and I'll say it until the end of the season, is that this group of guys, they haven't done anything. This group together, like, we have not done anything yet. So it's like building a building. It starts with the little things and making sure, again, they know what to do, they know how to do it, and then reinforcing. Not only coach to player, but player to player. Giff, Ty, Makai, Javen, Quez, those guys have played a lot of ball. This is the second year here with us and stuff. They know what's up. So now we're trying to make them take hold of it, take leadership, and then wherever they go on their fields, really bring that to life. So that's the goal. We want to be the number one defense in the country, but all that is words until guys adopt it and they live it every day.
We want to be a team to get off the field early, so we can get our offense in great field position, so they don't have to drive 80 yards every series. But taking the ball away is our main focus right now. We're just focusing on the things we need to get better at. Last year is last year. We're just focusing on the things that we need to improve on and take the defense to the next level and get our offense on the field more.
I think in general, when you look at this team on defense, they're so much further ahead than they were a year ago. This defense has playmakers right now on all three levels.
Yeah, it was crazy that you said that. Last night, literally, I was talking to Rob about that. I asked the defensive staff, I was like, man, are we any good? Like, I don't know right now, if we're any good. And they're like, Coach, we're doing stuff now that we were doing at the end of the season last year. So it's not even close in that regards. But Coach Rule said it best, it's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it. So how are we running to the ball? How are we taking on blocks? How are we tackling? Those are the things that necessarily now, instead of teaching it, you're just holding the standard right there, and showing them every day. And so I think it's turned away from the X's and O's part of it, even though we're installing still in the plays, but it's now more so of how we do things and making sure every single guy that takes that field and lines up and understands that there is a way we are going to play defensive football here, period. Starts with the head man. You heard, if you were out there, you heard him barking at the defense from the get-go. There's a way we're going to do things on defense, and I think you're seeing more so of that being the emphasis, not necessarily the X's and O's part.
And leading the way on this defense up front is Nash Hutmacher. He's had quite an offseason with his stint with the Nebraska wrestling program. Said on Tuesday, currently weighs 295 pounds, would like to play at about 310 this season.
During wrestling season, I think I was in some of the best shape I've been in my life, and so yeah, it's definitely helped conditioning-wise.
Well, honestly, he's done a great job with his weight and done a great job with his body. He's in great shape. He's a guy right now we have to pull out of practice as coaches. Just knowing, the rigors that he went through with wrestling, coming off of nationals, came back the next week, was ready to practice, and we had to slow him down. So, he's full throttle right now. He's lifting, doing everything, fully in the playbook now, and, leading the group. And sometimes he'll sneak in practice and get a rep or two, and I try to get him out, but he's ready to go. And, his weight has stabilized. He's around 290, so he'll get a little bit heavier, but we want to make sure he do it the right way.
I think it's going really good so far, just getting back into it. It's definitely nice to be able to help those younger guys be in their ear the whole time during team and stuff. Coaching them up, taking over more of a coaching role while I'm a little limited in practice right now.
That's OU right there, man. That young man, and glad that his father, had the surgery and he's doing well, and you can see Nash returning back here with the guys and just he's just living, man. He's just having a great time. You really enjoy when he walks into the meeting room, when he walks onto the floor, and you just do that much better. Like he's just a guy that you really want to work for. And so him being in great shape, he jokes around that he's a pass rusher now and all this kind of craziness and all that stuff. But he's just bare, man. He's just low maintenance. He's blue collar, and he just wants to get better and he wants to lead. So it's fun to watch him again in these groups when he's not getting as many reps, but you turn over there and look, and he's talking to guys and he's coaching guys and he's doing that kind of stuff. So he's doing all right.
We also heard from sophomore defensive lineman Camlenhardt, battled an ankle injury a year ago. He's another player, though, I think, poised for a big season in 2024.
Yeah, so NIU game I got rolled up on and had a pretty bad ankle sprain. So I was out a few weeks, and just being able to battle from that, like adversity and stuff like that, just being able to come back, knowing how to take care of my body.
Well, like the other guys always say, Cam's like a true professional. You know what I mean? That's why we're blessed to have a kid like him who came in and had his mind right, comes from a great family. So he does, he's an engineering major, so he's doing a great job in the classroom, having straight A's, and he's in the treatment room. He's always watching film. He's just a guy who, has his, right head on his shoulders. And, I'm expecting him to make a big jump. And it's good to always have competition in our room, obviously with guys like him and Jamari and James. A lot of guys like that we can rotate in. And I'm just looking for him to be more assertive. And, I'm not worried about him coming back from injuries because he always does it the right way. And, he's always a guy I never have to find. He's either in the cold tub in study hall or he's in the film room. So, he's doing a great job.
I would say, it wasn't necessarily hard. It was just a learning thing for me, being able to be all right, this is a part of the process and stuff like that, being able to, sometimes play through that little ankle, is bothering you and stuff like that. So it was just more of a learning thing for me.
Then on the back end of the defense, positions like cornerback appear to be a real area of strength. They've also added some new players like Bly Hill that could potentially make an impact.
A lot of guys are working in there. I wouldn't say anybody's standing out per se. I mean, you got Bly Hill over there. We're getting Malcolm some reps out there. You got Ethan Nations out there. You got I'm trying to think here of everybody who's taking reps. I mean, we put Mario Buford out there. I mean, we're moving everybody around out there. Again, it's not so much what position they play; it's what they can do. And so whatever the combination of 5 best defensive backs are, then we'll put those guys on the field and figure it out. So we're just figuring out who can walk out there. I mean, you got Jeremiah is out there. I mean, obviously. So it's just who is the most consistent, who can make the plays, who can communicate, and who's going to live up to the standard.
In other news, there's an NCAA coaching change rule that could go into effect this year in football. In the coming weeks, we should know if there will be unlimited on-field coaches available in college football. It would be a big change and something that's definitely on Tony White's radar.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it as much just because I know last year they were talking about it and all of a sudden the rule gets nixed. I know coach has really been keen on it and saying, we gotta keep track of who you want where and what we're gonna do in terms of all the guys we have now and how they can help position wise. But right now, until it goes by, it is all what we're doing right now each day. So I haven't really put as much focus into it.
Huskers will be back to work here on Thursday for their 5th spring practice. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.